Hello everyone! Today I'm excited to continue working in our coloring book called Peppa's Colorful World. Last time we did some coloring pages and some watercolors, so we're going to keep on doing that today. I'm going to be using these Crayola washable watercolors. So this is the page we did last time. We're going to start with this page today. Peppa is teaching George some fun tricks with her yo-yo. Okay, let's get started painting. Let's start with Peppa's nose. Move to her snout. We're going to try to not color in her eyes so those can stay white. Let's get her chin. And her cheek here. Now let's paint her ears pink. Let's do the same thing with George. Start with his nose, moving to his snout, his chin, rest of his face here. Let's get his ears. Okay, now let's get that little bright spot on their cheeks. It's going to be a little bit darker pink than the rest. Let's do George's cheek. Wonderful. So now let's paint Peppa's dress red. We're going to add some water to our red color. And I've got this little metal tray. You can use a paper plate or anything you have for mixing your watercolors, or you can just work right out of the watercolor pots. All right. Dress looks to be about done. Just a little more touch of color here on the edges. Now let's get some blue ready to paint George. He tends to wear a blue outfit. Now what color should we make the yo-yo? Could do all sorts of colors. For that, I'm going to use this bright green color. Great, that page is all done. I'm going to grab a sticker to put on this page. Let's do this fish. Trying not to get the wet paint on the other page. Wonderful. We're going to let this dry a little bit, or you can use a hair dryer to make it dry faster, and let's paint another one. I'm going to use a hair dryer to make mine dry faster. Let's see what the next page is. Look, Peppa and George found these things at the beach. Oh, what did they find? They found some seashells in all sorts of different shapes and some starfish. I want to paint this page. I'm going to put this little protector pad behind it. Let's start again by painting our friends here pink. So I'm going to get my white paint, mix it with my dark pink. That way we're making it a little bit lighter. Okay, let's start with George this time. Painting his nose and his snout, moving down to his chin, paint around his eyes. do the rest of his cheek and face here. Now let's paint his ears. And George isn't wearing a shirt, so let's paint his chest and tummy. Now let's paint Peppa. We have her nose, around her eyes, paint the rest of her face. Try to make sure we didn't miss any spots, and her ears. And just a little bit more color here. All right, you can see the top of her neck here. Now let's paint that bright spot on their cheeks. Now, I don't know what color George's bathing suit is, but let's make it like a blue-green. And let's give Peppa a purple bathing suit. Now, what should we paint these shells? Shells can come in a lot of different colors. They tend to be a lot of browns and oranges and yellows. So I'm going to make this one kind of a dark orange. I'm going to make this one more of a yellow orange. You can mix colors and experiment. That looks like a bright yellow. Let's do orange for this one. I'm going to make the next shell. Experiment. Let's see here. I'm mixing some white with some green. I want to do a bright color for the next one. Let's see if I can get this to be nice and bright. That turned out to be a nice orange. Let's do some yellow for this starfish. Let's make the next starfish more of an orange. Great, we finished another painting page. I'm gonna let this dry and then let's do a coloring page next. Now that my coloring page is all dry, let's find a sticker. Let's use this happy fox. I don't know this fox's name. Add that sticker to our page. Wonderful, I'm going to move my paints out of the way and let's do some coloring. So let's flip towards the front. Okay, let's do this page here. Doesn't Peppa look pretty in her hat? Well, she's got a very fancy hat here with some fruit on it, some leaves and flowers. I think this would be a great page to color. So let's start again by coloring in Peppa herself. try this pink marker that I have. Coloring her chin and around her mouth. Now sometimes when you color with markers, you can see lines from the next page coming through, and that's okay. Okay, now let's color in that dark spot on her cheek. Now let's color in Peppa's dress red. And while we have our red out, let's color in this apple too. Apples can come in lots of different colors. They can be red, they can be yellow or green. I thought a red apple would match her dress nicely. Now let's color in those leaves on the apple green. And let's use green on these big leaves too that we have around. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 big green leaves on her hat. Now we have some bananas on her hat, and I think we should make those bananas yellow. Now we have some pretty flowers on her hat. I'm going to make the center of those flowers orange. This is an orange that looks a little bit red. And let's use this purpley pink color for the flower petals. So what color should we make the hat itself? I'm gonna try this color called light orange. Now all that's left is the ribbon on her hat. Let's use this light green. Well, I think Peppa looks fantastic in her pretty hat. Let's see what's on the next pages. Oh, see, my markers bled through a little bit. Peppa and her friends always have fun dressing up. Well, they've got a lot of fun costumes. We have like a Shakespearean actor. We have Little Bo Peep. We have a wizard and a carrot. Let's see what else we have in this book. Peppa is having a tea party with Zoe, Susie, and Rebecca. Well, they look like they're having a lot of fun. It's a beautiful sunny day in the park. Peppa is buying George a dinosaur balloon. Oh, that's very nice of her. Well, look here. Mr. Dinosaur is George's favorite toy. Roar! Let's go ahead and color this picture of George and his dinosaur. This time I'm going to put my little protective sheet behind the picture so that I don't mess it up. Let's use pink again to color in George. He looks very happy. Look at that big smile on his face. Get his ears. Now let's get that darker color for his cheeks. Let's try this different one. That's a good pink for his cheek. Now let's give him some blue clothes. And let's make him a green dinosaur. Careful around his eyes. I'm trying my best to stay in the lines. Let's make the little spikes on his dinosaur back a different color of green. Let's try this one. It's just a little bit lighter than the green we used on the dinosaur's body. How many spikes do you think he has on his back here? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spikes. Next, I think let's paint these pictures that are in the background. So we're gonna need some green again for some green grass. We've got grass in both pictures here. I'm gonna use the smaller end of my marker. I'm going to use a darker green for the leaves in the background on the trees. Now it looks like in this picture we have a lake, so let's paint that, not paint, let's color in that lake blue. And let's do a nice light blue for the sky. Now in the other picture, we've got a sun in the sky. Let's make that yellow. And what color should we make the house? Let's try an orange house here. And let's give it a red roof. We have to color the sky in that one too. Let's grab our light blue again and color in the sky. Now we need to color in the picture frames. Let's make them some brown picture frames. Alright, last, let's color this rug that they are sitting on. I'm going to use this color called Anise. Let's see what it looks like. That's like a yellow. Yellow with a little bit of green in it. Great, I think that's a great place to stop on that page. Let's find a sticker. Let's do this little lizard on this page. Well, thank you so much for coloring with me again today. We got our picture of George and his dinosaur that we colored. We colored Peppa in her beautiful hat. And let's look at what we painted. We painted Peppa and George with a yo-yo. And we painted Peppa and George at the beach with all of the seashells that they found. Thank you so much for coloring with me. I hope to see you next time when we continue our coloring adventure.